Good evening, everybody. It is a great pleasure to be here on this wonderful occasion, and I bring greetings from my parents. They're now living close to me in Princeton, New Jersey, and it's an honor to have them so close to me and to be with them. So they wish they could be here because, as Anna said, this is so important to them. This temple and this community means so much to them. This is where their shared memories are. And one of the things that's hard about old age is that sometimes you have to move away from where your shared memories are. And it's just one of those things. I really wish they could be here tonight. I want you to know that my dad talks about humanistic Judaism to anybody that will listen, and this is little. So I may have waited for this book longer than just about anyone. Maybe my sister's in the same club as me. And you have to know, when my uncle first started teaching this history, you know, our parents talked about it, my uncle talked about it. It was always the real history of the Jews, the real history of the Jews, and we're not going to believe in those Bubonices. I remember having that term very young. You know, it's a real history of the Jews. And I was pretty young. And I know that I thought what my parents and my uncle said were true because everything they said was true, right? I was young. And, but I remember that they gave me a sheet of papers one day, and they said, you know, you could read this. And I said, this is it? It's got a staple in it. This is the real history of the Jews. I remember through the years, I think we advanced to a black plastic spiral binder from the equivalent of Kinko's. Well, I'm happy to say tonight we finally have a book, and we have a real press, Milan Press. We have an introduction, we have an epilogue, we have photos, we have quotes on the back. It is the real thing, and it is a delight. It's a delight for me to read. That's for sure. And let me add here that this has arrived here in no small part due to the midwifery here of Adam, Rabbi Adam Shalom, and also I would say the pregnancy counseling for the longest gestation in history of Marilyn Rowans, Mary Jarrett, Bonnie and Mrs. Williams, and others have had a lot to do with this book. People have told me stories about how it went out, letters came back, they've kept things, they've edited, they have boxes, this has been a long process. And I would say in today's world, you would have it all on a very small computer someplace. It would say volume 1 through 150, or version 1 through 150, but it's all has been in boxes and things like that. So there's been a lot of work that's put into it. I'm also pretty sure that when we started Adam, it was not as readable as it is now. And I'm sure that there were not too many footnotes or a bibliography, or certainly not ones that matched up very well. So there probably the footnotes were over here, the text was over here. It was pretty, it took a while to get it all together. So Adam, you have honored my uncle in the most generous way possible by helping to bring his views of Jewish history, flavored with his personality, to a wider audience. We all know his views of Jewish history, and views on so many things, right? They were brilliant, they were inspiring, they were thought-provoking, but putting into writing was not his strong suit. That was not his temperament. Adam, you obviously have this gift, and you shared it with my uncle and now with all of us. I loved how you described my uncle in the book, and for those of you who are here to celebrate Sherwin and his book, if you read nothing else, you have to read Adam's epilogue. So I read the introduction to epilogue first, and I was able to imagine my uncle sitting in the room as I read the essay. He really captured my uncle and his way of lecturing and thinking and being in the world. It was just wonderful. And you celebrated my uncle's ability to make our history accessible. You hear my uncle's gift of making history accessible throughout the book, and there's descriptions in there that are very funny, and I'm sure that there was some struggle about whether to leave them in or not, and how to, keep his personality in there. But he talks about early Jerusalem as a dump, and then he talks about the early, Israeli Judean tribes as hillbillies. Who lived in the outlying areas of the more sophisticated Canaan. He gave us an indelible image of our history, giving truth to the adage that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and by that, the picture that gets drawn in our minds when you listen to him. And I think there'll be a lot more material learned with my uncle's or from my uncle's colorful descriptors compared to conventional texts. Much better than dry academics. I hope I'm not offending anybody here. And I hope the book will not be judged by conventional academic standards, because if you read it, you'll hear him talking to you. He makes it accessible. He makes his gift, as I'm sure all of you know, is to make complex topics somehow simple. He made us understand complex things pretty easily. And that's my way of telling you this is a really readable book. One of the things I've always loved hearing my uncle talk about, and this is from the time I was very small, is how we all fit together in the world. His observations were extraordinary, as he would give an historical and current context for everyone in every place. If I believed in magic, I would be certain that he had a beautiful apartment in the sky that had a bird's eye view of the human condition. Now, the blue people started out over there. The orange group was upset, so-and-so, the green group got involved because they needed X, and he just, all of a sudden, we all fit together. It's like, oh, that's what's going on. I think he was a natural anthropologist, sociologist, and a storyteller. Storytellers are the best historians. And my uncle knew how to tell a story, and this one is his masterpiece. I know he's very pleased to be here tonight, and I know we're all thinking, wouldn't it be nice to sit down and have a conversation with him right now? Anyway, thank you all.